how to discipline your child without emotionally damaging them, because children will always be children. Children will misbehave. Children, they will make poor choices that will lead to mistakes. It's been a month of structure. We've been creating our structure at home. If you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you will know that we have covered. In fact, I think yesterday we asked a question: is there any aspect of your home we have not covered? We have covered every aspect of structure, the structure you need to create. However, children will always be children. Things will come in the way. Some of them want to test your limits. So before your structure even kicks off, before it becomes structure, those first few weeks or few days, they want to be sure, yes, this thing has come to stay. So how do we discipline our children? Because when they misbehave, when they go off, how do we bring them back so that our structure at the end of the day will be structured without damaging them, without raising children who will go with baggages? Yes, there was this one of our parents in the UK that was speaking in the platform, and she said something that is very, very profound. She said, everyone has trauma, everyone has baggages, everyone has their childhood imprint, everyone has it. It is what it is. So how do you, as a parent, whether you are even deliberately raising your children or not, they will have baggages around. When I was telling her that small seeds around can imprint so much in your child that when they grow up, they start struggling. We are talking about a lot already happening in the environment. Then as a parent, you will not double add to it, because you will not end up fortifying that trauma, that baggage, or that imprint they pick up from the environment. And one of the things that happens to parents especially is always the way we respond. I always say something that what your child does not define your child. What a child does not define a child. It is how we respond to it. That is what defines the child eventually. If a child has erred, if a child has done something, they will not be defined by that thing. People can only describe them. Oh, you don't remember that girl that did this? It doesn't define them. It is that strength, their character that they're able to build out of that thing that will define them. So today is all about, we are continuing with our structure, the last phase of it, talking about, okay, now that we have created our structure, how do we make sure that our children follow through with this structure? If they want to go astray, they want to test our boundaries, how do we go back and reinforce it? That is what we are doing today. My name is Enimie Orebo, and if you don't have your writing materials, go get your writing materials, because like I always tell you, it is going to be practical. Get your writing materials, get your popcorn, get your bottle of water so that you can sit down and learn. My name is Enimie Orebo, and this is Parenting, the Visionary Parent with Enimie Orebo. The Visionary Parent Academy is the Visionary Parent with Enimie Orebo is a channel by the Visionary Parent Academy, an academy where parents get to be empowered. You get registered, you join us, and we empower you with skills, with strategies to raise the children that you need to raise. On Sunday, I was talking to someone, one of my church members, and she was telling me some of the things she has started doing with her children. I was just smiling, and I was asking her, oh, I'm shocked. I implied that these are some of the things we think they are natural, they should just come with common sense. Some of the things we think they should come with common sense. And she was telling me, no, she said, I didn't know before now, even though I joined this academy. I didn't know before now, even though I joined this academy. I was like, what? And we sit back and we see things happen to people around us. We don't pick lessons from it. We just sit back and we don't do deep reflection, deep evaluation. Why is this thing happening? We just take the matter, we gossip, and we run. And we also create that pattern in our parenting. We're raising our children like that too. And when we say God forbid to those people, see this man, see what he has done, God forbid though, he's never my child. And we are also repeating the pattern. I don't blame us, because the truth of the matter is we don't even realize that we are repeating the pattern. I was talking to a parent one time who was working in an organization, and suddenly the owner of that organization passed, and so the children, they were selling the shares, selling the property, selling everything. They were selling everything off, and this woman was complaining. These children, why are they doing this? Their mom sports them, their mom pamper them. And guess what? That was the same thing she was repeating with her children. The same thing, you saying that, oh, the mom of this particular children pampered them, so they did not know, the parents rather pampered them, so they couldn't make any headway of their life. And you are also pampering your children. You are saying God forbid to that. That was bad parenting. You see yourself repeating that because you don't know better. You don't know better. And that is the reason. So in the Visionary Parents Academy, what we do is we empower you. We open your eyes to see things happening around you. We open your eyes to see systems that are failing. We open your eyes to see parenting strategies that are not working, so that you can learn what works. It is not about, oh, our children will turn out well. No, we did turn out well. Like I was on Facebook today, and I saw Vicky James was talking about your friends, some of your friends are embarrassing you everywhere. See what my friends are doing, and on talking about that. And people under the comment section were saying, Wumi, I don't even have friends. Let's start with the fact I don't have friends. These are some of the things we grow up. Some of the things we grow up not even knowing the value of networking, of socializing, of friendship. Some people were just say, I don't even have friends. Even till today, I hear people say, I don't have friends. And I'm telling them that it is not a win that you don't have friends. It is not a win. But because we do not know better, we raise children. We don't know better. So we raise children who will repeat the things we are saying, God forbid. Something happens, I will say, God forbid. It is not my lot. It's not my children's lot. We are still repeating the patterns that will bet that thing without knowing. That is the simple truth. These days, everyone, we want to shield our children. We keep them inside. We protect them. We don't allow them even do what they can do. We don't allow them take initiative. We don't allow them to be independent. We don't allow them certain things. And we see people who were raised like that, who did not turn out so fantastically well, who are struggling. We say, God forbid to them. And we too are doing the same thing. We say, God forbid to them, and we are doing the same thing. No. Now, this is why the Visionary Parents Academy exists, to open your eyes, to teach you what you do not know. So if you're a parent, you are not in the Visionary Parents Academy, I want to encourage you. Thank you. Somebody said, well done. Thank you so much, ma. I want to encourage you. You need to join us in the Visionary Parents Academy. It's not an academy that we just talk. We do a lot of work. So this month, we have been all about structure, creating structures and systems in our home. Because like I always say like I say oftentimes, structure is what builds culture. And guess what? Culture is what builds habits. When we talk about structure, when you have a structure in your home, the way we do things consistently, the way of a life of us, or is that correct now? The way of a life of us. Okay, fine. Our way of life, that is culture. The way we act in this family, that is culture. Structure is what makes that thing the way you act as a family. And when the children do it, when we act like that repeatedly, we begin to build habits. We build habits out of it. So this month, it has been all about culture. And today, it's about how to discipline our children, because when we have the structure, we need to discipline. So I was talking about the Visionary Parents Academy. Again, an academy you need to join. Luckily for us, we are still open for registration till the end of March. So if you are not with us in the academy, please come and join us. We do a lot of things. We do book reading and review. We do everyday meetings. You can share everything. We take lessons from issues trending around us. We take lessons that we do not expect. We do a lot of things in the academy. So when you join us, you are going to be greatly empowered. You are going to see your parenting transform. This is not just me, I'm saying it. I always say that everything we learn in the academy, if you put in the work, you are going to see your parenting transform. So I want to encourage you to ask questions on how you can join us, so that your parenting can also transform. You will not sit back and say, God forbid. Meanwhile, you are doing the same thing. You are saying, God forbid too. Because that is what we do very many times, like I said before. We don't realize it. Small things we do here and there that we do not realize, we don't pay attention to, because nobody ever draw attention to it. So, and sometimes we are very busy. So we don't have time to sit down and analyze certain things. So, but when you come to the Visionary Parents Academy, because you have expert coaches, they will sit down and help you analyze these things. Then you will realize, okay, this is actually where I'm getting it wrong, because every parent has a vision. I always say, whether you deliberately have it or not, whether you have written it or not, whether you have created your vision or not, you have a vision. We all have visions in our parenting. Your vision is why you smack your child. Is why you yell at your child. Your vision is why your child is going to school. Your vision is why you feed your child very well. Your vision is why you clothe your child certain ways. We all have visions. Your child goes to school because your vision, you want to raise a child who is educated. A child who can read, who can write, who can speak well, who can defend themselves. You have that vision. Even if you have not sat down to realize it, that is why you send your child to school. Or your child steals, you are beating your child. Even if you have not sat down to think about it. It is because you don't want to raise a criminal. You don't want your child to grow up and become, that person that will end up in jail, will be behind bars and all of that. You don't want that. You have a vision, even if you don't realize it. Now, it is one thing to have a vision again, and it's another thing to actually walk the path, not being random. It is what we do in the Visionary Parents Academy. We have visions. Every parent has their own vision, and we come and get empowered on how we are going to achieve our vision at the end of the day. So that I encourage parents to ask questions. Ask questions all the time, because if you don't ask questions, I'm not in your home, I'm not in your head, I don't know what your visions are. I don't know what your factors or your peculiarities are. I don't know. But when you engage, you ask questions, you share your struggles, your anything, then you can get a personalized response to that, and then you put it on your toolbox towards your vision. So thank you for joining me today. Enemy Rebel is my name, and today we are talking about how to discipline without breaking our children. How to discipline our children without emotionally damaging them. This one is something just got into me. I just got thinking about the common saying, the popular saying that I will teach you a lesson you will never forget. If you are a parent, I'm very sure you've either said that at some point, or you've heard that I will teach you a lesson you will never forget, And really, I was saying to myself that when we say, I will teach you a lesson you will never forget, whether you are, because normally when we say that, if you've heard that before, please type in the comment section. If you've heard that, you may not have said it, but I don't think I've ever said it to my children. But I know growing up, it was said to me a lot of times, And I've heard people around me say it, I will teach you a lesson you will never forget, The one I know that I used to say was, I'll give you something to cry about. That was a long time ago. I think I heard the phrase, and I just heard it, and I thought it was so fancy, and I quickly dropped it into my parenting toolbox, and I would say, I'll give you something to cry about, So if you've ever heard, I'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget, please leave it in the comments. Let's hear it. Yes, I've heard it before. Yes, I'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget. So let's go on. So it's a common thing that we say, and I was telling myself, the truth of the matter is, we said that out of anger. We said that out of anger. You want to deal with that child. You want to make the child feel what you are feeling. I will teach you a lesson you will never forget. I'll give you an indelible mark, a mark you will never forget. And I was telling myself that the truth is, whether you want to take a horsewhip and whip your child in a way of teaching your child a lesson that your child will never forget, or you actually want to discipline your child, as long as you are shaping that child, your child will never forget that lesson. However, your mode of making your child never forget that lesson will do either of shape the child, help the child build character in a healthy way, or traumatize the child. So you end up teaching your child a lesson they will never forget in a traumatic way. So they may not remember what they have done. They may not remember even the lesson you taught them, but at least so I know there's actually a reason why he's crying. Okay. Please, I don't get you. Can you explain? You said so, at least so I know the reason he's actually crying. Please explain. I'll answer you, please. So, is that you teach actually a lesson in a traumatic way? When you teach it in a traumatic way, traumatically, let me use that word if it's correct. When you teach it traumatically, the child may not even remember the thing they did. They may not remember the lesson. That's the way you responded to it. But you see, if that thing, that lesson you taught them will shape their mindset, will shape them, and they grow up, they becoming traumatized and damaged adults. And we don't realize where it is coming from. We see things happen every day around us, and we are quick to ask the question is, how did we get here? Each time I see the question, how did we get here, I always answer, we followed the road that led to this place. Because we did not just jump and we did not just get here one day. We followed a path that led to this place. And sometimes the path we follow, it is so quiet. It's quiet. We don't realize it. That is the most annoying thing about life, about parenting, about growth. You just don't see the effects now. I mean, and even when you don't see the effect now, years later, very many times, we are not able to trace back what shaped us like this. Now, if every time we make a choice in our adult life, or our children just make a choice, even when we are not comfortable with, if you are able to trace back to see, oh, it was this thing I did that led to this thing, it will be easy for us now. Our actions will be evident, but it doesn't work that way. So it is now difficult sometimes for us to tie what we see that we don't like, to tie it to what we are doing. Okay, so I meant that when my child is crying unnecessarily, I used to tell him, I will give you a reason to cry. So at least I know there is actually a reason for cry. Okay, let me quickly say this before I continue. When children cry, I think I have a video in this channel that talks about when children cry. We actually think they are crying for no reason. Yes, especially because you have exhausted, you have done everything. Imagine, let's say you have a toddler. They cannot yet communicate. They cannot yet explain let me explain something with this. Yesterday after school, my 9-year-old was telling me that, Mommy, I cried in school twice today. I said, why? He said he cried. He didn't have any reason. He knew that he cried unnecessarily. He said, one, his classmates stepped on him. It was by mistake. And he was crying, And then the next one was, the teacher was teaching the other classmates, one-on-one, the child was struggling. And the teacher was teaching that child. He looked at them and he started crying. 9 years old, in grade 4, he started crying. So before he even got there, he was telling me that he had a dream. He didn't tell me the dream before he went to school. He had a dream, and the dream, he was doing something not very pleasant in the dream. So that guilt, he woke up feeling guilty. It was a dream. He woke up feeling guilty. That guilt overwhelmed him because he is a sensitive child. That guilt overwhelmed him. If you're in a Visionary Parents Academy, you will know that I have talked about my 9-year-old several times. I've shared about some of his strengths, some of his personality. I've shared it. So if you are with me there, you will understand the kind of person he is. So that guilt overwhelmed him, even though it was a dream, that, he felt that dream kind of affected him a lot, that things made him cry. So when he got home, I'm glad he talked to me about it. I asked him, why didn't you tell me in the morning? He said he did not remember, because he did not remember immediately, don't think it as a big deal. But when he got to school, his mind played back. And it was heavy on his heart, especially because he has not spoken to me about it, and he couldn't tell his friends or his teachers. So he has not spoken to me about it. His heart was heavy. So because of that, when you are not happy, any small thing triggers you. And because one of his ways of expressing his emotions is crying, that is what very many children do. Children, some of them, when they are angry, they are hitting. You know that. Some of them, they are angry, they are crying. Some of them, they are angry, they just move away, they are on their own. So because his own way is to cry, he had to it was easy for him to just cry. And he knew that it was not necessary. Those cries were not called for. So I'm trying to say that there is always a reason children cry. Unfortunately, if you have a toddler, I always say to parents, you are not a witch. So you don't understand what they are saying. And even the toddler himself cannot express themselves. And then they are trying their best to express themselves, to tell you why they are crying. You are not understanding. They think you should understand. Why is mommy not understanding? I'm explaining to you. Okay, it's like they're telling you, I'm thirsty, I need to drink water. You are baiting them, you are patting them, you are giving them food to eat, and they are saying, I want to drink water. You are not understanding what they are saying. You are patting them, or you want to make them sleep. So they are crying in frustration. You are not giving me what I want. What is wrong with this woman? You're not giving me what I want. And you, on the other hand, you are saying, what do you want? Do you want my head? I am doing everything. Do you get it? There's always a reason children cry. There is always. They are not crying unnecessarily. There's always a reason children cry. It may also be because there's a video I see on Facebook all the time. The man, I think it's an Indian doctor, when he wants to give children vaccines, he just distracts them. Sometimes he sings, he does funny things, he distracts them, and that's how he now vaccinates them. And we always say, oh, this is super smart, this is super cool. You know, the funny thing is, some of those children, they will not feel the pain immediately, but they will know that something happened. Later, they will not remember. Even if they no longer feel the pain, they will not remember, doctor gave me injection. They cannot imagine the pain that comes in injection and to make them cry. No, now when they are crying, you check their temperature. They are not feeling hot. They are not hungry. You just fed them and anything. You will not know. And they cannot explain to you, mommy, that doctor tricked me to give me injection. So injections are painful. He didn't allow me to cry. They will not be able to explain to you. And you now, because you are not a witch, you are not a mind reader, you don't understand babyish, like my daughter would say, you too, you will be frustrated. So there is always a reason children cry. One of the things we can do as parents to children is that when they are crying, we just be their comfort space. We be their safe space. It's just like you are going through a lot in your life. Then somebody is now adding insult on top of it. They are not understanding. Instead of them to sympathize, empathize, be compassionate towards you, they are not stressing you on top of it, you know. They are downplaying your emotions and things like that. So at the end of the day, you are going to be bitter and frustrated. Exactly what happens to children too. So there is always a reason children cry. There's always a reason. They will not just wake up and cry. The only thing is that some children, they have different timelines for crying. You know, just like adults, some adult gets unhappy and they stay in that unhappy mode for a very long time. You know that not everybody snaps at immediately. Some people will say, oh, when I'm depressed, I go shopping, I feel better. Some people will say, when I'm unhappy, I read a book, I feel better. Some people have their different ways to cope with that mood. You know, some people travel and all of that. So children also, they have their ways of coping. Some people, even no matter what you do to them, they will still be in that mood for a long time before they will snap at it. Take a long time. So children, when they are unhappy, the way they express their unhappiness is through crying. And so some of them, they can cry for a long time before they get out of it. It doesn't mean there is no reason they are crying. There is always a reason they are crying. So if you got that clearly, please let me write in the comment section that was very clear. If you want me to answer that again, I will answer that. Feel free to always ask your questions. You know, we can always just take a minute to explain and then we'll go back to our topic. It's okay. We are all here to learn. It is why I always tell you to come with your Coke or your fan or your water, come with your popcorn and come with your writing materials, because sometimes it's long. It's not, because we have to do a lot of explanation. Okay, so let's go. I was talking about structure, and I was saying that one of the major things in parenting is how we respond to our children's behaviors, how we respond to their choices. Now, the thing is, children will make poor choices, whether you have toddlers, whether you have older children. So many factors will make them make poor choices, because they are humans. Will make them make poor choices, because their hormones are working, will make them make poor choices, because they are trying to imitate people, you know, will make them make poor choices. Even adults, we do a lot of imitation, a lot of the time. You see a cloth trending, you self will go and buy it. You see people that wear clothes that don't fit their body shape. You see someone, this clothes doesn't fit your body shape at all. It kind of even disfigures you. You still go ahead to buy it because it's trending, because everyone is doing it. Meanwhile, if you have a child who is doing what other people are doing, you are going to be angry. You are going to smack that child for doing what others are doing. Meanwhile, as an adult, you do it. We do it a lot of the time. People around us inspire us. They influence us. They make us do the things that we did not really have in our heads to do. So, and our children also pass through that route, and we are they are misbehaving. They are misbehaving, and we are reacting to it. So, our children's behaviors are really not what define them. It is how we respond to it, because we are the one that will now label it. We are the one that will now talk to them, call them names, and respond to it generally. So that is what will define them. So I was talking about structure, and I said something that yes, we've been creating our structure in the Visionary Parents Academy. If you are with us, you realize that we have a book we are using, my parenting structure guide. If this was a recorded video, I would have shown the cover. Is an ebook that we have been using. Yesterday we completed it. I think we finished it all about structure. And I said that yes, at the end of the day, you are going to have your child, especially because your structure is just starting now. So you are going to have a child who will test it, who wants to say, okay, is this can my parents actually, are they going to be consistent? Is it just one of those things they say and they never go through with it? So this is why we are talking today about consequences. Your structure is not complete without consequences, because consequences are a way to reinforce, to emphasize your system. And one thing about consequences again is that your structure is meant to teach. Your structure is meant to build skills and to teach. Consequences are also meant to help your child build skills and to teach. So when we say, I am going to teach you a lesson you will never forget in your life, I want us to change our mindset, our view of that saying. It is not, I'm going to give you a scar on your body you will never forget. It is not, oh, the pain you have given me, I'm going to give you that pain times 2. Because I said to parents that when we inflict physical pains on our children, it is almost always more like we want to pay back. You hurt me, I want to hurt you. You say you are stubborn. I want to tell you that I am more stubborn. It is not a competition. It is not a sport. You are not opponents playing against each other. Like I said, every parent, you have a vision. If you have not sat down to tell yourself, if you have not sat down to evaluate yourself, then I want you today to sit down as a parent and ask yourself certain questions. Why do I flog my child when they do things? What are even the things my children do that make me react to them, that make me flog them, yell at them, even if you're not a flogging or yelling parent, what are the things my children do that I want them to stop doing? Why do I want them to stop doing it? If you sit back, you look at why you want them to stop doing it. It is actually because you know that you have a vision. You know that these things are going to sabotage your child. Every single thing. Whether you want your child to stop doing something, you want your child to start doing something, it is because those things will sabotage your child in the long run. Unfortunately, because we are very impulsive, we are not even able to sit down and even understand this. So we just do copy and paste. We are just all over the place. This is one of the things we do in the Visionary Parents Academy. We help you understand what you are doing in parenting. So you are not just doing copy and paste or doing what everybody else is doing. You actually you know what you are doing, and you do what you should do. Okay, let's go. So I was talking about discipline. I said, when it comes to structure, your children want to test boundaries, especially your first week. You say, okay, today we want to be going to bed 6 o'clock, no longer 9 o'clock as before. Some children will think, oh, mommy is playing, daddy is playing. Even your teenagers, they will think you are not serious. So they want to wake up and see what you will do. They want to see how you will enforce it. And you have children like my own. Yes, my son that is going to be becoming a teenager, and my daughter that is approaching teenagehood. If you have children like my own, they want to present their case. Ooh, they want to present their case. My son is in church. So they have a competition coming on in church, and they're supposed to just learn. It's a Bible passage competition. And so my daughter she's 12, my son is 14 in teenage class. My daughter is 12, she's not in teenage class yet. Even this morning, she's on my head, mommy, because I teach in teenage class. Mommy, what I want to join. If I learn it also, if I memorize it, I can join. Why can't I join? Why shouldn't I join? Why shouldn't I join? She's giving me 1,000,001 reasons why she should join. To the extent of telling me that, now you see that in my class, after a while, I'll just come and drop my bag with you upstairs. It's because there's nothing we are doing again. It's boring. And then again, some people, they even join the teenage class at 12. Because I did not join at 12, should I come? So if you have children who want to present their cases, who want to negotiate with you, who want to drag, who want to tell you that, yes, I just don't swallow everything, I have my rights. So your first week of your structure, they are actually going to drag it with you. Now, and then again, when these things happen, as parents, we see it as misbehavior. My child is misbehaving. So you are angry, and then you want to now, either you want to say, okay, this structure, it doesn't work, or you want to go punitive. You want to punish. So again, discipline is to shape character, is to help our children build character. So even when you are creating your structure, or you have created your structure, you are going to think about, what consequences am I going to use to reinforce this structure, to make sure this structure stands, and it will build character. Because structure is not just there for fancy. It is not just there because in the Visionary Parent Academy, we said everybody bring your pen and your paper, and I'm just writing it, I've written it. No, it is to build character. A parent shared something that's very amazing. I think the other week or so, she said last year she was in the academy, and this year she's still in the academy. So last year she created a structure for her son. I don't remember how old the son is, but I don't think the son is more than 9 years old. I think it's like 7, 8, 9, within that neighborhood. He created a structure. I think he's 7 or so. He created a structure for the son. The son was past using the structure. The son didn't like it, because structure helps children. They just want to be random. You want to do anything you like, live your life, just, should I say, be scattered all over the place. You don't have time for anything. You just do anything. And as much as, yes, we want our children to take hold of their lives, we want them to be independent, the truth of the matter is, there are things they need to do at a certain time, right? There are ways they need to behave. You can't tell your child cannot watch television. Mommy, I watch television till 3 p.m., 3 a.m. They watch TV till 3 a.m. They need to wake up 6 o'clock. They sleep only 3 hours. Wake up 6 o'clock, they bathe, and they are going to school. When you know that they need at least 9 to 10 hours of sleep to have a healthy mind, a healthy mind, to grow well, they need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Then they will not tell you, oh, they will sleep 3 a.m. and they wake up 6 a.m. No, today we have structure in place. So structure will talk to them about when they need to go to bed, and structure will tell them why they need to go to bed at that time. So now when they are misbehaving, when they don't want to follow, what do we do? How do we discipline them? Discipline is to shape them, not just to teach them a lesson by afflicting pain, but rather to shape their character. Because every single thing we want our children to do, it is hinged on character. I tell my daughter, for example, she has long dreamt of being a particular thing when she grows up. Oh, this is the path I want to follow. This is the path I want to follow. She's still 12, and we know that interest changes. Of course, interest changes with age, with location, with exposure, and all of that. So, but for a long time, she has held on to that interest. And one day we sat down and we looked at the character skills, because I always tell them something. It is not about, even yet this week, like I shared in the Visionary Parent Academy, we are building competence in my home. That is what I tell them. So everything you want to do, put competence at the back of your mind. I want to be a competent. So I want to be competent. I won't ask them something. Have you never heard in cartoons where you say, you are fired for your gross incompetence? They say, yes. I said, okay. So those people that are being fired for their gross incompetence is not because they got to the work, they became incompetent. They did not learn how to be competent. So they did not learn competency. So this week is all about learning how to be competent. So I broke it down to tell them, what does it mean to be competent? So we look at everyday habits they will do to be competent. Everyday habits. So what does it mean? Like I said, workplace. You want to work in the workplace, whether you're ever a boss of yourself or you're working with someone, you need to be competent. So if we now break it down to every day what you are doing, if I demand you doing your things and doing them thoroughly, if I demand you pushing yourself, putting the extra, it is because I want you to be competent. We are nurturing that competence in you. So you realize that everything, even the structure, everything you are creating around your child, there is a reason for them. It's not just, because it's fancy or because we are asked to create a structure. There is a solid reason for the things you are doing, for the structure and for everything. So let's go. So what do? It simply means that your discipline has to be such that will further reinforce that character, that will strengthen the character and will not break your child. Now, this is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, we have a manual we called My Family Constitution. So because now, if you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you have written your structure. You have joined us in our structure this month. I think after the first week, we have been taking one structure from TV to chores, to bedtime, to when you have visitors, to even everything. We have they are not just strict rules to stifle your children. No, there are boundaries around your house. Because I say to parents that we always say, you know the home you are coming from. You know the surname you carry. You know the family you are. Let me ask you, which home are they coming from? Which name do they carry? Which family are they? These are just fancy things. Put in the comment section. Tell me the home they are coming from, the name they carry, and the family they are. Put in the comment. Let me see. Some of these things are just fancy things we copy. We don't even know what it means. We don't know them. We don't understand them. People are saying it. They are doing it. Oh, it's nice to say. Like I used to say, I'll give you a reason to cry for. I'll give you a good reason to cry. So that, yes, you are crying, right? I'll give you a good reason to cry. It looked nice. It looked good in the ears. I adopted it without sitting down and thinking and asking myself, does it make sense? A family where we honor God always. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. So your structure is to build character that reflects indeed the family you are. So when you now break down, though every single thing you break them down, they are going to reflect the family you are or the things you actually stand for as a family. So when we now come to discipline is supposed to help you. It's supposed to help you build character. It's supposed to help you reinforce that vision you have, that structure you have created. So your discipline is not random. So we have the family constitution. If you have the family constitution, you are going to see that we have, is it up to 60 or 50 something different behaviors. We try to cover every single behavior that we structure, that we complain about our children, the things that they will sabotage them in the long run, and all of that, we put it in the family constitution. So as a visionary parent, we are done with our structure. So what you are going to do now is to put your structure together and articulate it into a family constitution. Now, before you create your family constitution, you just don't wake up. You have your structure. You have looked at it now. You just don't wake up one morning and begin to create your family constitution. No. What you do, your children are going to be involved. Your spouse is going to be involved. Now, this is why my family constitution, before you go into it, we have a small book we call My Family Meeting Template. My Family Meeting Template is that small ebook that we use to hold a meeting with your family. You call your spouse, you call your children, you call people working around you. Now, people working for you, if you have domestic staff, let me tell you something as a parent. Please, if you have maids, people working with you, the way you treat them is also a communication to your children. Everything you do around your children is a communication to your children, and you do not realize the impact. So if you have maid, if you have domestic staff, I beg, if you cannot treat them well with a vision in mind, send them back. It is better you do the work you are doing by yourself, because through the way you treat your maid, you can break your children. I was saying, I don't know where I was saying it one time. I said, we wake up and we ask, how did people get so greedy, so desperate about money? I said, do you know that having a maid in your house can nurture the mindset of greed in your children? Let me explain how it happens. You have domestic staff. You treat them like trash. You treat them less than human. Your children, they understand that it is because these people are less privileged. They are not as privileged as they are. That is why you treat them less. That has already built a mindset in them. By fire, by storm, I am going to make money. I will never be poor. I will never be broke. Whether you agree, whether you like it, whether you realize it or not, it will nurture a mindset in them that I will never be broke. I will never be poor. It can nurture a mindset of desperation. So, because you are teaching them about how power works, how money, and your power now is money, because money gives you power. Because you have money to pay their salaries, because you have money to do some things, you treat them. So your child becomes desperate. At what cost I am going to make money? So they may not even think about having maids, but they just know that money gives you power. So they make money at all costs so that they may not even have confidence. Money becomes their confidence. So please, if you cannot treat your domestic staff the way you have maids, you have house girls, house boys, if you cannot treat them well, I beg you, just let them go. It's not even for their sake, because of your children, because you have a vision, right? So you don't want your child who will be so desperate tomorrow and they will not make good choices. Anyway, so back to our structure. When you have as a visionary parent, you have your structure already. If you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy, it's okay, and you can join us now, and then you still have our parenting structure guide. In fact, all the materials we have used so far, you can still have them. You will join our resource bank, where you have access to all the materials, including the books we've read so far, the book we read last month, the book we are reading this month. You have access to all the materials. We have worksheet, we have quick ebooks. Every now and then you have materials, you have access to them, and you join the academy, you ask questions, you get personalized responses, you have access to all of them. You can still join. Just send a message after this class and you will be registered and you'll be admitted. Okay, let's go on. So the first thing you are going to do is you are going to have a meeting with your children, because now you need to create a family constitution. You have put all your structure, you have written them. Now you want to create a family constitution. So you are going to have a meeting with all your children. And firstly, in the meeting, you have a vision. That's the first thing. If everybody knows where they are going to, they have the same we are going to the same, we have the same destination in mind. It is easy for us to follow the same path. But when we don't have the same destination in mind, then it's not easy for us to follow the same path. That is why it is the first thing you want to do as a family, as a parent who wants to create a family constitution, to put your children together, put your spouse together, and all of you will have a common vision where you are going to in your family, where you are going to in a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, where you are going to. You have that same common destination. Then after that, you are not talking about how do we get there. How we get there are the values. These are the things we do to get there. These are the things we will not do if we want to get there. Your values, you now have daily habits. Your values are what you break down into daily habits. For example, you have a habit of, okay, you are going to, where one of the places you are going to is to have a bonded family. A family who is bonded, we are happy together as a family. Even when you are grown, you are all living your lives, you are married, you are pursuing your career, we have yearly reunion, we are happy together as a family. My sibling, you can call your sibling And a parent yesterday was telling me she had a speaking engagement, and the sister was literally on her every night. The sister will call her, you are going to speak here, make me proud, because the sister, I think she works with the place, the organization that have her to speak. She's in the Visionary Parent Academy. So the sister works with the place that had her coming to speak. So the sister was like, make me proud though, make me proud though. The sister was on and on. Eventually, she's a visionary parent now. Why can't she deliver? She delivered. She sent me the video. I posted it on my status. If you follow me on, if you're on my WhatsApp list, you would have seen what I posted yesterday. If you check my status, you will see what I posted. I posted the what she went for. She delivered. The sister again was super proud, called her, was talking, was proud, and all of that. Is it. Family, best friends, family, always there for each other. If no one is there for you, your family is there for you. If no one believes you, your family believes you. If you have that kind of a vision, you have to break it down. Your value, love, unity, they become your value. Then how do you now break it down? Love and unity. It now becomes, how do I express love as a family? That is what you are going to structure. Then you now structure your communication. You structure your conflict resolution. So you create a system. In my home, when we are angry at each other, this is what we do. In my home, when we need to take our siblings' item, this is what we do. In my home, when our siblings take our items, this is what we do. When we go to school, we make sure we look for each other and we come back together. In my home, we do not choose outsiders over our siblings. This is it. In my home, if I have anything, I'll always remember to share with my siblings. In my home, when my sibling is not feeling too well, I am going to pick up their responsibility and do them as my way of showing care. This now becomes your structure. And then you now have consequences. If I don't do this as a family, if I don't do this, remember our vision is unity in love. Now we have our vision is to be a bonded family. Then our value is love and unity in our family. Then we have empathy, we have forgiveness and all of that as part of the values that will help us achieve that vision of unity and love. So structure simply means when we are angry, we don't yell, we don't hit. Now remember, I say as a parent, you are a major part of the structure. So because you say when we are angry, we don't hit, we don't yell at each other, as a parent, then you have to model that to your children. You too have to teach them how to resolve conflicts amongst themselves by the way you resolve conflict with your spouse, by the way you resolve conflicts with them. So these things are structured. So if we do not resolve conflicts, if we don't resolve conflicts this way, what happens? Now there is a consequence. The consequence is not to afflict pain. The consequence is not to tell the child, it's not to say, you've done me bad, I'm going to do you bad. You are disgracing this family, you're not following our family rules and all of that. That is not the consequence. The consequence now is to further help the child build that character of love, of unity. Build that character. Now, this is why the family constitution, if you see how that book, that manual is created, it is created to help a child learn character skills. If a child tells a lie, for example, it is not beating. You don't beat a child to tell the truth. If you beat the child, what have you done? You are trying to you are instilling fear in that child. Let's look at the psychology. What does fear lead to? Fear makes people avoid. So your child will look for ways to avoid telling you the truth. So they will lie. You are saying, I've beaten you. They will lie. Because now they will not stop lying because like I was telling the parents in the Visionary Parent Academy, children lie for different reasons. Oh yes. They lie for different reasons. They don't lie because they want to lie, because they want to make you talk, look bad. There are different reasons they lie. So what you should bother is, why is my child lying? So when it comes to discipline, it has to be, what skill is missing? What skill is missing? What is age appropriate or not age appropriate? What is not yet clear? Where is the understanding that is lacking and things like that? What have we not structured and not be consistent? Those are the things you think about, So let's go. So you now hold your family meeting, because everyone needs to be on the same goal. We need to be on the same, you have to be on the same vision, on the same wavelength. So you have a family meeting. So yesterday, a parent asked a question and she said, what was the question again? Okay, her daughter told a lie and she flogged her daughter, and she told her daughter, you are not going to watch television. So, and I told her something. You see, not watching television and even flogging, they may look like consequences, but in the long run, they are not building character skills. Yes. Can you tell your child, don't watch television because you have lied? Yes. But there's a way you will structure it that it will build skills, because you want your child not to lie for a reason. For a reason. Okay, so let's go on. I'll get to that hopefully. So you have to call your family. Everybody will agree. You look at the things you are structuring. Why am I structuring these things? What is the long-term goal? What is the short-term goal? You have a vision already. You start. We also have my parenting vision guide, which is already in our resource bank. If you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you are not taking advantage of our resources, you need to go and start taking advantage of our resources now. We have a lot of materials in our Telegram channel, which is our resource bank. So, and they are quick. The materials by the Visionary Parent Academy are quick guides. Something you can sit down, 10 minutes and you are done. You take your notes. Now, parenting requires time. Parenting, if you want to parent intentionally, it is going to take your time. It is just what it is. You cannot wing it. So you just learn to invest, even if it's 10 minutes of your time daily. Go to the academy. I always tell you, speed. Yes, I know that our voice notes can be very long. You can speed, listen to them. Double. That's what I do. Most times I'm reading, I'm doubling them times 2 of the normal speed. So if I have a book that is 6 hours, in 3 hours I'm done reading it. If I'm watching a YouTube video, I speed watch. If the video is, yesterday the video I watched was about 1 hour and some minutes. In less than 40 minutes, I was done. Did I get all what I wanted to get? Of course, I got everything I wanted to get. Because very many times, a lot of things are just reminders. So when I now get, I pause. That is the only time I waste time. If I'm reading, I get an aha moment, I pause, I screenshot, or I pause, I just copy and put it somewhere I can always refer to it. Apart from that, every other one, I just speed listen. So you can do that. Even voice note in the academy, you can just speed listen. Okay, so let's go on. I was saying that, so everybody has to be part of it. Everybody. It is not you that is just making those rules and regulations. Everybody has to be part of it. Now, when everybody is part of it, it becomes easy. It is your word. You were the one. You are not imposing. You are explaining. You have bedtime rules for your children. You are going to tell them something like, we have bedtime rules. Why do we need bedtime rules? I tell my children every day, if you like sleep 1 o'clock and wake up 2 o'clock, it has nothing to do with me. It will not affect me in any way. Let's look at it. If you decide to watch television or play with your phone or do your drawing or read one kind book that is not necessarily impacting you, if you decide to do that and you don't sleep until 3 a.m., right? Then by 5 a.m. you wake up again to prepare for school. How does that affect me? Does it affect my health? Does it affect my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health, my financial health? It doesn't affect me in any way. At the long run, it is you it will affect, because you are not going to have enough sleep. And when you don't have enough sleep, you are going to have a cranky day, whether I would like it or not. You are going to be cranky all day. You are going to be unproductive. Even if you don't feel, you are not able to sleep in school, you are going to be draggy. And when you wake up in the morning, you are going to be cranky. You are going to, why did I wake up now? You actually have this explained to them. Now, this is why we need you to have enough sleep. How do we know how much sleep you are going to have? Let's see what happens. You carry out your research. Children need up to 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours sleep a day. Fantastic. That is it. So we are not going to build it into, if you sleep 8 p.m., it means you are going to wake up. And if your time to wake up in the morning is 5 a.m., it means you are going to wake up 8 p.m. Like I said to my children, if you wake up 5 a.m. and you are not able to do your chores and get prepared for school early, so it simply means one thing, that because that 8 hours is very important, so it simply means one thing, you are saying that you want to go to bed early. You are saying that you want to wake up earlier. So if 5 to 7 is not enough for you to prepare for school, so it simply means that you want to wake up earlier. You want to wake up probably 4:30 or 4 a.m. Now, for you to wake up 4:30 or 4 a.m., it means you have to go to bed by 7 or 7:30 as against 8 or 8:30. It means so that you can have enough sleep and grow very well. You have all these things explained to your children. When they understand that, then you now go ahead and start talking about your constitution. If you have my family constitution, you realize that you have your vision. You start with your vision, then you start with then you proceed to your values. Your values. Everyone has expectations. Father, mother, children, everyone has expectations. Now, when you have children, they will ask you, I'm the only one doing dishes, I'm the only one doing that. It's a simple thing. That's why we have the constitution. You have your responsibilities. As a parent, you have responsibilities. Your children also have responsibilities. Everyone knows that everyone has responsibilities. So we are going to have it. Okay, we have responsibilities of maybe driving you to school, maybe buying foodstuff, maybe paying house rent, maybe buying fuel in the generator or in the car, maybe cooking, maybe doing dishes, maybe doing clothes and all of that. These are all responsibilities. So everyone has their responsibilities. Everyone has their rights. Everyone has their privileges. There are some things that are privileges. They are not rights. So you cannot demand them. You only earn them, or it is out of my discretion. So you cannot demand for your privileges. No. So I see parents do a lot of things. I remember one time on social media, somebody said, each time the husband, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody says, each time the husband travels and buys something for one of his children, the other one will be like angry and crying and throwing tantrums. The man will not end up buying for all of them. That is what they do in their family. So they don't buy things for one person. They must buy for all of them. And I'm like, okay, it's because your family is not structured. If your family is structured, you have a family constitution. Nah, I don't buy things for all my children. I don't buy. We talk about what you need. We buy things according to your needs. If you need it, we will buy it. If you do not need it, we are not obliged to buy it. And I will not buy for you because I bought for the other one. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to structure, character building, discipline, whatever we are calling you, we are raising our children for the real world. And the real world will not compensate, will not say, because somebody has A, somebody else will have A too. No. We cannot even, a friend of mine was telling me something yesterday about how the cousin actually lived with her for a long time, so they are very close. The cousin just passed, he's in the early 50s or so, he just passed. He got a job, he was working, he got married. For years, he didn't have a child. They've done IVF, series of IVF, and they still didn't have a child. And finally, the wife got pregnant, and they are super happy. Now the wife is pregnant, and they are happy. The man had an accident, and the man passed. So the wife is in shock. I think she's in hospital. Life can be so, all the God forbid, all is not my portion. Life can be. So life will not say because a child A is having it all easy. It is your child B must. Life will not say because you've gotten, child A is getting everything, child B will. Life is just in a way that somehow is in a way that we cannot really explain a lot of things, you know. So what am I trying to say? You need a structure. I will not buy things for my children, except of course maybe I go out, I buy snacks, of course. Like I went to the market today, I bought avocado pear, of course it goes round. But say, okay, I want to buy a dress, I want to buy a shoe, I want to buy maybe reading materials or something like that. No. If you need it, I will buy for you. So in the constitution, you have rights and you have privileges. And your children, they will have to understand these things. Like I've heard children angry with their parents before. Everybody has a phone. My mommy has refused to buy me a phone. Everybody has a phone. Mommy has refused to buy the phone. They are angry. Even some parents, everybody's using the phone now. I want to buy a phone for my child. It is not a right. It is a privilege. Even if your child is in the university, it's still a privilege. It is not a right, you know. So you have all these things as conversations with your children before you now go into your family constitution. I don't need to go into all the items in the family constitution one by one because we already have it in the Visionary Parent Academy. So if you're not in the Visionary Parent Academy, you want a copy of the family constitution, you can send me a message and I will just give you at a chicken fee. We'll give it to you. But in the academy, go to our resource bank. Our family constitution is there. Our family vision guide is there. Our family template is there. In fact, okay, the chicken fee is 5,000 naira. You get the 3 materials: my family template, my family vision guide, and my family constitution. With just 5,000 naira, you get all 3 of them. You also get my family structure. I will give you all 3 of them, all 4 of them that we have used so far in this class. Okay, so we are talking about the family constitution. So you are going to now create a family constitution. We have my vision, where you are going to as a family. Then you have my values, the road, the things that will take us there. Your values are what you break down into everyday goals, everyday character goals, your spiritual goals, the academic goals. Your values are what you break down into everyday single goals for them. You have all of that. Your children, you have rights and privileges. They are all in the constitution. Then we are talking about consequences now. You have their behaviors and consequences. Like I said, your consequences must build character. Okay, so the parent of yesterday that was talking about, okay, the child told a lie, she flogged the child, and then she now went forward to tell the child not to watch television. And I told her something. One of the things we do as parents is we just give consequences, punishment. They don't connect. If it doesn't connect to that behavior, it is not going to build character. It may instill fear. We beat, we yell, we take away privileges. They may instill fear. Fear is temporary. But when we connect the behavior, it happens in such a way that the child actually understands. They understand. So if a child, for example, tells a lie, and in the family constitution, okay, let me not use that telling the lie. Let me go to unity, like I said, family vision. If a child angrily hits another child, and you know that in your family constitution, you do not have hitting, and you have created a structure on how to resolve conflicts, how to communicate, and the consequence for it. So I say to my children that how life happens is that your choice and your consequence is like 2 sides of one pen. Life, your choice, your consequence. You cannot pick the choice and leave the consequence alone. It doesn't work that way. It's not possible. Once you have picked the choice, you also have picked the consequence automatically. So I also tell them that you are constantly communicating. You are always communicating. You are always telling people how to treat you, what you want, what you don't want, everything. You know, so you may not say it verbally, by your action, you are constantly telling people what you want. So for example, if the consequence says, if you hit your sibling, you are going to get X, Y, Z, and you go ahead to hit your sibling, it simply means that you already have said, I am getting X, Y, Z. You have picked that choice of hitting your sibling, And because the choice of hitting your sibling automatically comes with the consequence of XYZ, you have picked the consequence of XYZ along with it. It is non-negotiable. What makes it a structure is the fact that it is non-negotiable. Now, when you now start having them argue, go back and forth, you now just go and smack randomly, it is negotiable. It is no longer a structure. It's just something random you are doing. So, for example, when a child hits the sibling, choice hitting, consequence, they have communicated with you. I feel like enjoying the XYZ. My kids know that already. Your kids should also know that. The consequence is sacrosanct. It is the same every time. That is how it builds culture. That's how it builds culture. You don't want them to remember, my mom, anything she sees, she hits me with it. No. You want her to remember how she helped you, or you want them to remember how you helped them to build that consequence, to build that behavior. So let's go. So when you hit, you want to look for what consequence will teach that character of unity. Let's go. First of all, you have things like, why did you hit? Who did you hit? You hit out of anger. And you know what? In that moment of anger, we tend to forget all the good side of our siblings. So one of the things you want to do in our family constitution is, when siblings bicker like that, they want to go and write. That's why in the constitution, you say that I say, write 10 good things about your siblings, 10 things you love about your siblings. Because you know that anger is already causing a crack. And we are talking about a vision of unity. If you're talking about unity, oneness, joined together, there should not be crack in it. Crack is separation, and our vision is oneness. So now we say, first of all, write 10 things you love about your sibling. So they are going to now sit down and reflect. They remember all those good things their siblings have done for them. It's helping them soften towards their sibling. They will now go into other things like, okay, write about what happened. What happened today that actually made you to react like that towards your sibling? You are going to write about it. Now, because you have taught them conflict resolution, they are now going to sit back and say, okay, what was your part in it? What part did you play in it? Like yesterday, my kids were bickering. My 9-year-old and my 14-year-old. So my 14-year-old said my 9-year-old was trying to do something. He has a competition coming, was trying to prepare. My 9-year-old was disturbing. He now push him, leave me alone. And that was it. My 9-year-old was like, why are you pushing me? You are pushing me. He said, because I've told you to leave me alone several times. So the question I asked him was, yes, you have told him to leave you alone. We're downstairs, I heard him telling him, leave me alone. You see, when upstairs, he was still following you. So the question I asked him was, what was your role in it? And he knew his role in it. His role in it was that he did not leave that place. Because you are responsible for what you do, but you're not responsible for what others do. So you were lying in the bed. He wanted to lie there too. We're all downstairs together, and we left, went upstairs. You were lying, you wanted to lie there too. So he was close to you. So since what you were doing was super serious, you have taken your things, left their room, and you go to another room. Then he will not have this entire space of the bed to himself. So you had a role in it. So why do we need to reflect on that? We are empowering them with skills. Because next time, even skills just beyond the home, next time they will know that they always have a choice. They always have a choice. I always tell my children that you always have a choice. There is nothing like I did not have a choice. You always have a choice. So you had a choice to have left him there and stayed there. So, but you did not choose to leave him there. You choose to be reactive. So why were you reactive? We'll talk about the emotions. There is always something behind your being reactive. It is because you are excited about the prize you are going to win in that competition. You don't want anything to disturb you. Why were you reactive? You want to sit down and understand all of these things. So now when you now help them understand these things, so they will now realize, okay, I was reactive because of this. I was this. Okay. Then they are going to write about what do I do better next time? Next time I'm in this situation and my brother is just coming close to me and I really need to get my things done. I don't want him close to me at that time. What do I do? He's going to now write something that will promote peace, unity, help him achieve his aim without necessarily hurting his brother. That is what he will do at that time. Is he going to serve the consequence? Of course. Now we have a family constitution. This is not just something like verbal interview. He's going to sit down and write it out. So yesterday, it was not a serious push. It was not like it was something minor. But if it was something that was not minor, he would have faced the family constitution. And the family constitution, he can be facing it while serious activities are going on. If it's a weekend when they are watching television, he will go to his room or go to a study area and face the constitution while everyone is watching television. Our life goes on. Our lives rather go on while he's facing that. So it can be we are having fun. Maybe we are just playing, we have played one game, we have visitors, we are just having fun. It can even be we are going out, want to go and visit a friend. And that is the time he's writing his family constitution. We are not going to wait for him. Him writing the family constitution, that time, whatever activity is going on, he is going to miss from it. Now, why is he missing from it? I am not the one that is making him miss from it. And the time of writing the constitution is not negotiable. Because at the end of the day, it is when you misbehave, your matter is treated, you are going straight to write your constitution. So it's not negotiable. I am not influencing the time. This is where I did not influence your behavior. So why do we need him to write it and we move on with our life? Because remember, when you structure your home, when you are disciplining your child, it is all to teach them how the real life works. And I tell my children that when you have a consequence to face, the real life moves on. So now he's learning lessons that if I am ever in a mess, I make a mistake that gets me in a mess, God forbid bad thing, nobody waits for me. Nobody. I tell you that people in jail, life goes on. If you like, God forbid, but make reckless mistakes that put you in a bad shape, life goes on. Nobody waits for you. That mindset is already built. So when he's now writing his constitution, he is missing out on the fun we are having. That is enough punishment. That is enough consequence. He now realizes, okay, when I missed my constitution, when I misbehave, it is not like when I'm saying you are grounded, go to your room and stay. No. Because that you are grounded, go to your room and stay. It is me, the parent, that is enforcing that. But you see, the one that is, we have talked about it. We have said, when you do this, this is what happens. Now, this is happening. You are not even like you are grounded, go and stay in your room. You go in the room and stay there, you are not doing anything. No. This one, you are reflecting. You are serving the consequence of your action. You are reflecting. So I always tell my children that, you see, in those days, I don't know if they still do it now, when people go to jail, most times maybe for things like stealing, especially for things like stealing, it is believed that because they don't have any source of income, that is why they are stealing. So when they go to jail, I had a neighbor back then when I was in the university. We used to call him Papa Jennifer. Papa Jennifer was a carpenter and he was quite good at it, you know. And he learned that in jail. He said when he went to jail was when he learned carpentry. So when they go to jail, they go and build capacity. For young children, this is rehab. They go and rehabilitate them. You know, all those juvenile homes. They give them counselor. I don't know if they do that with adult prisons or jail or things like that. But so that period your child is isolated, they are building capacity. Let me give you another example. I tell my children that, for example, if you do your dishes, if your dishes are not clean, or not just dishes, they take turns to use the kitchen. Like today, who was cooking today? I don't remember, because 3 of them, they said they had to be in school early, so they woke up super early. I was still in my room. They woke up super early and they all went downstairs to cook. So I don't know whose particular person is cooking today. So by the time we are going to bed, we have a standard. The burner, our gas burner, must be super clean. Then the floor must be swept. Food left unfinished must be taken to the freezer. Everything is cleaned. The idea is so that when you get to the kitchen tomorrow morning, because you are going to school tomorrow morning, you know that tomorrow morning now you need to manage your time very well. You are not under pressure. I want to clean the burner, I want to sweep, I want to do that. No, the kitchen is good, and it is compulsory you keep the kitchen tidy. I always tell my children, because you can be cooking and your food will pour away. If you are cooking, your food spills, what happens? Will you be able to pick it or leave it? If the kitchen is so dirty, it's dirty. You come to the kitchen, everything, cockroach everywhere, yesterday's soup and all of that, your food pours. You are going to pour that food away. You are going to waste that food. And guess what? If you waste that food, I am going to replace it. Where am I going to replace it from? I am going to replace it from, let's say you cook 2 packs of spaghetti and 1,000 naira each. It pours. You pack it away. I am going to bring another spaghetti out, 2 packs, 2,000 naira to replace that. And that 2,000 naira may be something maybe I want to use to do something else, which means eventually that thing I am supposed to do, I will not be able to do it. Do you understand? Maybe I want to register you for a class. I'm not able to register you for a class because my money is short. So the skills you're supposed to learn there now, you will now be short of that skills. So you will not be able to meet certain expectations. You see how it moves, how it goes around. So it's simply, that is why before you go to bed, the kitchen must be tidied. The kitchen tidied is not just me wanting to punish you, wanting to stress you, or because I just like my kitchen clean. No, there's a valid reason behind it, and they understand that. So when they now tidy the kitchen and they leave it messy, it's not clean, it means one thing, that you have not developed the skills. You are not competent yet. And I cannot tell you that, oh, because the kitchen is not clean, you are not going to do work in the kitchen again, you are not going to use the kitchen again, someone else should use the kitchen. No, because if I do that, I am not helping you. So what is going to happen? So tomorrow you are going to repeat the kitchen. You are going to repeat the kitchen until you are able to keep the kitchen up to standard. Is that a consequence? Of course. I don't need to yell. I don't need to smack. It is structured. It is it. For my daughter, for last week, she did something. Kitchen drain, that small drain inside your sink, that filter that filters the things you throw inside your sink. Maybe you finish cooking, you just wash the things inside your sink, maybe the bone, everything will be there. She will just finish tidying the kitchen. Then when she pours the water to drain, she will leave the kitchen. So by the time we come back the following day, we see that drain with particles. Apart from that, when you eat a very oily food and you pour it, by the time it flushes, the kitchen will be stained. That was how it was. It was not even negotiable. So she had to repeat kitchen. By the following day, she washed everywhere, and then she forgot to remove the drain because she was running away too. She still had to repeat kitchen. So was it not there before? And I sat her and I said, do you know why you keep making these mistakes? I said, because you don't allow your water to drain. You finish washing, you think, oh, I finished washing. You wash everywhere, you tidy everywhere. You see yourself doing it good. Then you will not leave that water and move away. You don't wait for the water. The water will not take the water up to more than 30 seconds to drain. You don't wait for the water to drain. So by the time the water drains, everywhere is stained, and the dirt remaining in the water is gathered inside. That was when she now realized, oh, I didn't even think about it. And I used to wait before. Why did I stop waiting? So she now did better. So am I giving her consequences? Yes. Am I forcing it? Is her choice. She knows why. She has picked to wash plate and run off the kitchen. She has told me that she has not learned how to tidy the kitchen. And She's not repeating it because as a punishment. She's repeating it because she needs to learn. I don't know if you are getting me. She's repeating that thing because she needs to learn. Not the repetition is the mother of mastery. Repetition is the mother of mastery. Because she needs to learn, it is why she's repeating it. My older son, when we want to eat fufu, he's the one pounding it. Why does he pound it? Because my daughter can pound very well. My daughter once wants to eat fufu, my daughter pounds it, and so they take turns to cook. So whether my older son is the one cooking or he's not the one cooking, he's the one pounding the fufu. Why is he pounding fufu? Because he has to learn. Like I told him, you have to learn. So you have to keep pounding it. You are 14. You cannot pound fufu and to have white things. It's not well mixed. Some part will be hard, some part will be soft. So you have to keep learning. It's not punishment. I'm not punishing you. You are just building capacity. You are learning. So that is how you structure your home. Your consequences, because you need that consequence to help your child learn, internalize those values. So your consequences, they don't have to be affliction of pains. No. They just have to come naturally in a way that they further build values. And the truth of the matter is, if you are a parent, if you have not worked on your emotions, if you are not emotionally intelligent, I tell you for free, you will not be able, you will see yourself always, or your child makes a mistake, you are going to, instead of you to use the consequences that build skills for them, you are going to be forcing, be all over the place, be damaging them emotionally, because this force we are always forcing, we are always yelling, we are name calling, we are shaming, we are hitting, we are damaging them. And sometimes our children begin to respond, not because they have learned. People say, oh, if it works for me, I'll keep doing it. I want to sit there and ask you, is it really working for you? I asked my teenagers in church on Sunday that if your parents were not in the picture, if your parents were not forcing you, would you be coming to church? And guess what? Very many of them said, no, I will not be coming to church. I am coming to church because I am being forced. And for the parents, you will say, I am doing what works. It is working for me, I'm doing it. It is why they will not go to the university. When they are away from home, they will not go to church. It is why at the end of the day, they would argue about God. Because they were never allowed to experience it as it's supposed to be. It was always force, and force. And the major reasons why we are forcing, the major reason why we are reacting, why we are not responding, it's actually because we are not emotionally intelligent. It is not an insult not to be emotionally intelligent, and as in, I'm not saying it like insultively or being insultive to you or insulting you. I'm trying to use the right vocabulary, that you are not emotionally intelligent. Because if it didn't they, we did not learn it. Just like very many times we have expectations. There's a woman near me here, she has a shop. So one day I was making my hair at the salon close to her, and the daughter about 10, is it about 10, even less than 10, was insulting the elder daughter, calling her all sorts of, not just kind of those small, real insults. I had to step in. And what I discovered was that was how the mom treats the daughter. Oh, all over the place. You are useless. You are lazy. You can't think for yourself. Everyone picked it. Even though she didn't like it. She always tell them that, is she your mate? Why are you doing her like that? Is she your mate? Why are you insulting her? Because the girl, she was 16 then. I mean 16 or 15. She was the eldest daughter. So she wanted the younger ones to respect the eldest daughter. But she will always insult the eldest daughter. So I had to tell her that, no, you are the one telling them this is how she should be treated. That is how she is treated. Did I blame her? I didn't blame her, because it is what we know, how we are raised. It is a system. People still brag about it. My parents did this and I turned out well. My parents did this and I'm not struggling. People still sit down. These same people that tell you their parents did this to them, they are not struggling. You look at them. You want to actually ask them, do you know the meaning of struggle? You want to ask them, Are you where you want to be? They have a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors that have made them not to be where they should be. They have a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors that holds them back. And then they will say, oh, my parents did this. I turned that well, so I'm going to do it to my child. No. Very many of us did not turn out well. So we cannot afford to do those same things to our children. And one of the reasons our parents did those things were because they were not emotionally intelligent. If you ask very many of our parents today, if they knew better, they would have done better. They did what was obtainable in their time. They did not know better. Now we know better. We cannot even afford not to know better. We cannot afford not to know better. Because I was telling my children that day that nobody has a valid reason to fail. You are writing an exam as a student, you don't have a valid reason to fail. Because I tell you why. I tell them that when you come back from school every day, you take the lessons you were taught. Go to Google, go to ChatGPT. For example, if you were taught quadratic equation, tell ChatGPT, I'm in JSS2 and I was taught quadratic equation today. I need 100 JSS2 likely exams question on quadratic equation. I said ChatGPT will give you 100 questions. By the time you finish solving those 100 questions, there is no way they will set questions on quadratic equation you will not know. True or false? If you are taught about, okay, let me use any topic you are taught, anything you are taught, go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, go to any AI, tell them, and they don't even need to go to chat self. WhatsApp, go to WhatsApp AI, ask WhatsApp AI, I was taught so and so in school today. I want you to give me 200 likely exam questions. It will give you, all you need to do is to sit down, answer those questions. Anywhere you don't understand why answering the questions, you go back. Okay, WhatsApp AI. Question number 3 is this. I don't understand this. When you finish answering, tell the AI, give me all the answers. They will give you all the answers. You compare. Anyone you fail or anyone you know that you guess you were not very sure of, you struggle through. Go back. Okay, I got this particular one right, but I struggled through it. Can I get more explanation? They will explain to you. So why will any child fail? The same thing as parents. Our parents didn't know better. Now we don't have any excuse not to know better. We definitely know better. However, emotional intelligence was why our parents did what they did. They did not have emotional intelligence. Now we know why they did what they did. And we have the opportunity to do better. Now, it is why the Visionary Parent Academy is hosting the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Challenge for next month. From the beginning of next month to the end of next month, you are going to be in the academy, whether as a member or you are not a member. As long as you register for the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent Challenge, you are going to be in the academy. Every single day, you are going to learn how to master your emotions. Because create structures, create constitution. Your children, they will try you. They will stretch you. Now, how you respond to their behavior goes a long way to shape them, to determine how they will turn out. How you respond to their behavior will go a long way to determine how they will turn out. And if you don't have emotional intelligence, if you have not mastered your emotions, you will not be able to respond to them, because your response all the time will have to align with your vision. You have a vision for your child. Your response will have to align. Imagine the kids are squabbling. You are beating. Now, let me share this thing practically. When your siblings are squabbling, you are beating them. Why are you beating them? Because you expect them to be united. You are siblings. You should be friends. You should bond. You are beating them. Do you know that beating you are beating them it breaks them more than bonding them? It does not even bond them. It breaks them. By the time you beat them, one of them is saying, "You are why mommy beats me. You were the cause of this." The squabbling will go on. Even if you are beating them into keeping quiet, they are not able to talk. Shut up, go and sit down there, get out. You can't share with your brother, you can't do this, you are wicked. At the end of the day, you have called them wicked. You have labeled them in their mind. Their sibling will think, oh, my brother is actually wicked, that my brother did this to me. They are going to separate more, crack more. And why were you beating them? Because they are siblings, they are not supposed to be fighting. They're supposed to bond. You beat them, you have modeled response, how to respond. You have modeled how to respond to them, and you have demarcated. Is it demarcation now? You have separated them more. However, instead of now beating or yelling or calling names because they are fighting, what if you use my family constitution, like I said? You have them reflect. You have them see the good in each other. You have them see what they did, the role they play in what made them fight. You have them see how they can do better next time. You have, which will give you better results that aligns with your future, which will give you better results. You cannot do the family constitution way if you are not emotionally intelligent. Nah, you cannot achieve it, because emotional intelligence simply means that you have to be able to pause and wear your thinking cap. You have to reason. So, and you have to reason in line with your vision. You have to ask yourself, will this thing, will it break my children further, or will it make them? Like what we do when two children are fighting, maybe they are fighting over an item, we just collect the item and go and keep it. Or better still, we collect the item, we give it to one person. We break them more. We break them more. So we need emotional intelligence to be able to always pause and think through situations, think through our children's choices, think through their mistakes before we respond. It is how we respond that will make them, how we respond that will determine our relationship with them. How we respond will go a long way to impact and shape our children. And we can't do that without being emotionally intelligent. So if you like to be part of our becoming our emotional intelligence challenge, the fee was 10,000 naira early bird. It has gone up to 15,000 naira. But if you're in this class today, we can go back to 10,000 naira for you. Or if you see this video, just send a message that I was in class today, or I saw the video today, and I would like to be part of the class. Can I have access to the 10,000 naira discounted course? And you still be able to get it for 10,000 naira. Please join us so that we can all raise whole and healthy children. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you learned today. I hope that you took notes and you are going to do parenting better. My hair was just falling off. I was looking at my hair. I didn't want to be distracted, so I just went on. Me that came today planning to look like those, is it Jamaica queen? Wanted to look like, feeling like a Jamaica queen, I ended up looking like a Jamaica. I'm not sure what I look like. Anyways, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you for joining today, and I do hope that you will take your time, take your notes. You can come back and watch this video and take all the things you need to take, because we said a lot of things. I shared a lot of things today. You take time and you take action. One of the things I always say to parents in the Visionary Parent Academy, my parents all over the world, each time I'm speaking, I always say to parents that, see, if you can listen to me from now till that kingdom come, if you are not taking action, you not make progress. So take the lessons you have learned today, whether you're in the Visionary Parent Academy or not. I'm sure you have learned a lot of things today. Take action, apply them in your parenting, and then you will get results. And if you want to join us in the academy, please come and join us already. The academy is a place that everyone should be. And like I said in the emotions mastering class, we are going to have a coach come and join us and also teach us more. Hopefully we can get more than one coach, but for now we are hoping that we can get one coach to come and teach us so that we'll master our emotions. We are not breaking our children instead of building them. So, and if you have if parents, you need someone to come and speak at your PTA, you're a school owner, or you a church, you are a leader in a church, or you have a small community, any community, you want someone to come and speak at your PTA. We have parents that can come and speak at your PTA, because it takes a village. If you are teaching your child, the parent was telling me that day on Sunday that she said something, it is good to be in a community. She registered her son in one of these teens mentorship classes, and then the son also comes to church, because if your teenager is in my church where I teach, you realize that I teach beyond. I want to make impact. I want to reach their hearts. I just want them to do well. I tell them every Sunday that, see, I want to see you on billboards. I want to see you on TV. I want to see you on social media everywhere. I want to see you on flyers, on banners. And I want to see when you come, everyone stands up. And when I see you, one of my teenagers said to me that she was telling the other one, this auntie is very dramatic because of what I was saying. I said, I want to see you. When I see you, like, I'm going to be shouting, I know this girl. I said, you are going to say something that I remember when I was in my teenage years. I was attending this church. There was a woman that used to come to my church, and she used to say this and this thing. I never forgot about it, even though I did not realize it. But when I grew older, even though I did not take her seriously then, but when I grew older, I realized it, and it has helped me, it has shaped me. I said I'll be super happy. I even told them I will pick up my phone. I will tell everybody that I know this girl, I know her. So people will come, and when they want to reach you, they can come and meet me. Mrs. Orebo, you said you know this person. How do I reach her? And I told them I'm going to charge them. They'll pay millions. That is why I'm doing what I am doing. So what am I trying to say? Our children need to hear. Parents need to hear these things. If I have a parent in my children's school, if the parents all understand intentional parenting, visionary parenting, and everyone is living that path, tell me, and their children influence our children, whether we like it or not, because my children went left for school 7 a.m. and they are not returned. They don't close until 4 a.m. From 7 to 4, how many hours? And they woke up this morning. The only time I had with them this morning was when we prayed, and then we walked to school. That was just like, I left my room about 6 or past 6 or so. Then that's 1 hour. They'll come back by 4 o'clock. By 8:30, they'll come back. They'll close 4 o'clock. I will not see them until past 4. I'll pick them up and they will get home. So how many hours they spend in school? They spend a long time in school. And at the end of that, how many hours am I going to see them? Maybe like 4:30. I see them from 4:30 to like 8:30. That's about 4 hours, and they go to bed. Till the following day, 1 hour. That's 4 hours plus 1 hour in the morning. That's about 5-6 hours. Meanwhile, they will spend up to like 8 hours in school, staying with friends, staying with teachers. Now imagine the school they are. Every parent there is intentional. They know what they are doing. They have values they are passing to their children, and our children are there with them in the environment. It simply means that they are going to be shaping our children positively, reinforcing them, because faith comes by hearing. Our children are going to be shaped by what they continuously hear. So that is why it is super important. If whether you are a school owner, you are a leader in a church or anything, you are not, you can suggest to your school PTA, let's have parenting seminars, and you can reach out to me. We have parents, visionary parents everywhere. We have in the UK, we have in Canada, we have in UAE, we have back to Nigeria now, we have in Ghana. I said back to Nigeria, we have in Ghana. Okay, we have in Ghana. So we have in, what is this place? We have in Benue State, we have in Ogun State, we have in Lagos, we have in Port Harcourt, we have in Abuja, we have in Delta State, we have in Edo State. We just have parents everywhere. Just reach out to us, and we are going to have a parent that will come to your PTA or come to your school to preach the message of intentional parenting. And you are not even going to pay much. You just pay for their, transport and all of that, and they are coming to preach the message of intentional parenting. Even if it's your teenagers too, you want somebody to speak to your teenagers. These parents they are visionary parents. They know exactly what they are doing. They are also going to come to your school or to your church to also talk to your teenagers about living backwards, like I was using them, like living with a vision, they're also going to help your teenagers grow a mindset, positive mindset, and help them live in a vision. So send a message, and we'll just assign, we'll give you one of our coaches that is in your neighborhood, and then they will come and talk to your parents at PTAs or your school or your church and things like that. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to join the academy, send a message. If you want to be part of the Emotionally Intelligent Parent Challenge, send a message and we'll be glad to take it. If you cannot reach me directly, feel free to reach any of our coaches. We have 4 coaches in the academy. Feel free to reach any of our coaches. Thank you so much for joining today. Do well to take action. Just don't learn and go. Take action. Take action. And also tell parents around you that there is something going on here. Copy the link and share. Invite other parents and have them all take action. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.